Kim is cornered. He thought he had outplayed the world, building nukes, cozying up to Putin, sending North Korean troops to Ukraine, and watching the chaos unfold from the shadows. But now Trump is back. And if history has taught us anything, it's that Trump doesn't forget. Kim remembers it all too well. The threats, the fiery speeches, the historic meetings where Trump looked him in the eye and promised a future, only for it all to collapse. In Kim's mind, Trump humiliated him. And now, with North Korea deeply entangled in Russia's war, Trump has every reason to come back stronger, tougher, and more unpredictable than ever. This time, Trump isn't just coming for negotiations. He's coming to end the North Korean nuclear game once and for all. And Kim? For the first time in years, he's afraid. Donald Trump's return to the White House in 2025 is already sending shockwaves across the geopolitical stage. While much of the world is focused on his America First policies, mass deportations, and economic war against China, there's another issue brewing behind the scenes, one that Trump sees as unfinished business: North Korea. To Trump, solving the North Korean nuclear issue is personal. It's the one foreign policy challenge that even he, the self-proclaimed dealmaker, couldn't fully crack. He built a historic relationship with Kim Jong-un, but their nuclear negotiations ended in failure. Now Trump is gearing up for a second attempt, but the landscape has changed dramatically. Back in 2018, Kim was isolated. Sanctions were crippling his economy, and China was his only real lifeline. North Korea had no choice but to entertain the idea of negotiations. But fast forward to today, and things look very different. Kim isn't as desperate anymore. Putin's war in Ukraine changed everything. The Kremlin is now a powerful new ally for Kim, offering him cash, military technology, and diplomatic protection at the UN Security Council. In return, Kim has sent thousands of North Korean troops to support Russia's war effort. This new partnership has given Kim a level of leverage he never had before. He's no longer just a rogue dictator. He's a key player in a global power struggle. This means that when Trump calls him back to the negotiating table, Kim won't be coming as a desperate leader looking for economic relief. He will come as a man who now believes he holds real power, backed by a nuclear arsenal and protected by a wartime alliance with Russia. But here's the problem. Trump doesn't play by the old rules. Kim is walking into a storm of uncertainty because Trump has made it clear. He will do whatever it takes to shut down North Korea's nuclear ambitions. Whether that means crushing sanctions, backdoor deals with China, or even the threat of military action, Trump is preparing for the final showdown. And Kim? For the first time in years, he doesn't know what's coming next. Kim Jong-un thought he had secured his place on the global chessboard. After all, he had Putin's backing, Russian weapons tech flowing into North Korea, and thousands of his soldiers fighting in Ukraine. In his mind, he was untouchable. But Trump's return has thrown everything into chaos. For years, Trump has made it clear he doesn't believe in endless diplomacy with dictators. He has no patience for pointless UN resolutions or meaningless peace talks that lead nowhere. And unlike Biden, who ignored North Korea in favor of other issues, Trump is about to make Kim a priority again. And Kim knows exactly what that means. Trump has already hinted that his new approach to North Korea will be even more aggressive than before. He's not just thinking about reviving talks, he's preparing to shake up the entire power structure in East Asia. So how will he do it? First, by going straight for North Korea's lifelines. Trump knows that Kim's nuclear arsenal isn't just a military issue, it's a business. North Korea's economy is built on illicit arms deals, cybercrime, and selling weapons to rogue states and terrorists. If Trump cracks down on North Korea's black market revenue streams, Kim's regime will start suffocating financially. Second, Trump is going after China. Beijing has propped up North Korea for decades, providing just enough food, fuel, and resources to keep Kim's government from collapsing. Trump already fought an economic war against China in his first term, and now he has even more reasons to tighten the screws. If China is forced to cut off support, Kim will be more vulnerable than ever. And third, Trump is unpredictable. One of the reasons Kim fears Trump is because he doesn't know what Trump will do next. Could Trump restart the fire and fury campaign? Could he threaten military action again? Could he strike a secret deal with China and Russia behind Kim's back? Kim can't answer these questions, and that's exactly why he's panicking. Because when Trump returns to the White House, Kim Jong-un won't be calling the shots anymore. Trump will. Kim Jong-un isn't just panicking, he's scrambling. He thought his alliance with Putin would give him leverage. He sent troops to Ukraine, provided weapons, and in return, Putin gave him access to advanced missile technology. Kim saw this as his ticket to global relevance. Finally, North Korea wasn't just a regional problem, it was a key player in a global war. But Kim made a critical mistake. He bet on the wrong ally. Russia is not the superpower it once was. Its economy is battered, its military is suffering catastrophic losses in Ukraine, and its global influence is shrinking fast. Kim tied himself to a sinking ship, and now Trump is about to cut the last remaining ropes. And Trump? He's not about to let Kim play both sides. With Trump back in power, North Korea's weapons pipeline could be obliterated. Trump has already signaled his willingness to squeeze Russia's economy dry. And if that happens, Putin won't have the resources to keep supplying Kim. Without Putin's backing, Kim is isolated. And here's the real problem. China isn't stepping in to save him. For years, Beijing tolerated North Korea as a useful pawn, but now Kim's reckless behavior is creating problems China doesn't want. His missile tests are forcing Japan and South Korea to deepen their ties with the US, something China sees as a direct threat. If Trump starts applying economic and military pressure on Beijing, China might have no choice but to distance itself from Kim altogether. That leaves one brutal reality for North Korea: survival at any cost. Kim knows that Trump doesn't play by the old rules. He can't count on the slow, predictable diplomacy of previous administrations. If Trump sees an opportunity to break North Korea's grip on power, he will take it. So what are Kim's options? Surrender to Trump's demands and come to the table. Double down on aggression and risk complete destruction. Beg China to save him, and hope they're still willing to listen. No matter what he chooses, one thing is clear: Kim is running out of time. Because Trump isn't coming to negotiate. He was coming to end the game. Kim Jong-un may have thought he had played his cards right. His growing alliance with Putin seemed to secure his position, providing military technology, diplomatic backing, and a much-needed financial lifeline. But Trump's return to the White House threatens to undo all of it. If Kim was expecting the same diplomatic dance from 2018, he's about to get a reality check. This time, Trump isn't just walking into negotiations as a showman. He's coming in with a strategy designed to corner North Korea, using sanctions, military alliances, and economic warfare. The North Korean dictator's playbook has always relied on balancing threats, alliances, and strategic ambiguity. But now, his margin for error is razor thin. The first and most immediate challenge for Kim? Trump's re-engagement with South Korea and Japan. Trump has openly criticized the cost of U.S. military commitments in the region, but that doesn't mean he's about to abandon the Pacific theater. In fact, Trump is poised to use America's military presence as a direct threat to Pyongyang, not as a tool of protection, but as a lever for pressure. Under the Biden administration, Washington assured Seoul and Tokyo of its unwavering security commitments. But Trump's approach is different. He doesn't just want to maintain these alliances. He wants to weaponize them against North Korea. Imagine a scenario where Trump demands that South Korea increase its military spending even further, not just for deterrence, but as an offensive posture against Pyongyang. If Kim refuses to play ball, Seoul could be pressured to fast-track advanced missile systems, expand intelligence sharing with the U.S., and even pursue deeper military drills that threaten North Korea's defenses. Meanwhile, Japan, already increasing its defense budget in response to China's aggression, could become another key pressure point against Kim. Trump may encourage Japan to develop stronger military capabilities, indirectly fueling an arms race that Pyongyang cannot afford. Kim's nightmare scenario is unfolding rapidly. Instead of softening America's stance like he might have hoped, Trump's return is creating a regional alignment that leaves Pyongyang with fewer options than ever before. And unlike in 2018, when North Korea still had some bargaining power, this time Trump isn't walking into negotiations looking to make a deal. He's walking in to force Kim into submission. If Kim thought his pivot to Russia made him invincible, he's about to learn that Trump plays by his own rules, and Pyongyang is no longer holding the winning hand. Kim Jong-un has always relied on a single crucial strategy: keeping his enemies divided. His survival depends on playing China, Russia, and the US against each other, ensuring that no one power dictates his fate. But Trump's aggressive comeback is shattering that delicate balance. And for the first time, Kim might be truly alone. The US is no longer North Korea's only threat. If Trump successfully pressures China into cutting off economic support, Pyongyang's economy, already battered by sanctions and isolation, could enter a full-scale crisis. Unlike before, when Beijing saw Kim as a useful buffer against American influence, North Korea is now more of a liability than an asset to China. Trump understands this perfectly. His real target isn't just Kim, it's Xi Jinping. The US-China rivalry has intensified, and Trump's strategy is clear: force Beijing to choose between saving North Korea or protecting its own global ambitions. If Trump threatens harsher trade restrictions, tighter sanctions, or even military deterrence in the Pacific, China may decide that propping up Kim is no longer worth the trouble. This puts Kim in an impossible position. Without China, North Korea collapses. Without Russia, it loses its last source of military support. And if Trump pushes both into backing away, Kim loses everything. Meanwhile, Trump is preparing to tighten the noose with overwhelming economic warfare. He's already hinted at escalating sanctions beyond anything seen before, not just on North Korea, but on any country that dares to support it. This could include secondary sanctions targeting Chinese and Russian companies that engage in any trade with Pyongyang. That means any financial institution, company, or government that does business with North Korea would face devastating consequences from the US. Kim is staring down a level of pressure he's never faced before. His lifelines to Russia and China are under threat, his military options are diminishing, and his economy is on the verge of collapse. This isn't 2018. Trump isn't coming back to negotiate. He's coming back to break Kim's grip on power, and the North Korean leader is running out of moves. Kim Jong-un is facing the greatest existential crisis of his rule. He played a dangerous game, arming Putin, defying Trump, and pushing China's patience to the limit. But now, the walls are closing in. With Trump returning to power, every single safety net Kim relied on is breaking apart. His economy is in freefall. His once reliable allies are reconsidering their support, and the US is preparing an economic and diplomatic onslaught unlike anything before. For North Korea, this isn't just about survival. It's about total isolation. If Trump follows through with his crippling sanctions strategy, Pyongyang won't just struggle, it will suffocate. Unlike in previous years, China might not be willing to bail them out, not when their own economy is under pressure and their global ambitions are at risk. Kim could try one last desperate move, either ramping up provocations or seeking a new diplomatic lifeline. But here's the problem. Trump has already seen through his game. Trump's brutal foreign policy playbook is different this time. He doesn't just want North Korea to behave, he wants to crush any chance of it ever becoming a nuclear threat again. The days of weak sanctions and empty diplomatic standoffs are over. Kim Jong-un is out of time, out of options, and out of allies. The question now is, will he fold, or will he take one last reckless gamble? As we watch these events unfold, one thing is certain. The world is about to witness the most high-stakes showdown between the US and North Korea in decades. Let us know what you think in the comments. How will this battle between Trump and Kim end? Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe to War Agent, turn on notifications, and hit the like button to stay updated on the latest geopolitical shifts.